Yo, what's up, Cancer? Welcome to your monthly forecast for the month of March 2016. For the majority of the month of March, the sun is going to be in the sign of Pisces. For you, Cancer, the sign of Pisces is your ninth house. The ninth house has to do with travel to faraway places. It could mean that you're not necessarily traveling to faraway places, but maybe there's some people in your life during this time who are from faraway places, and you're interacting with them locally. So it could be either or, and it also has to do with spirituality. So did you just get back from a trip somewhere far away? Are you going to be going on a trip somewhere far away? These are definitely possibilities. On March 21st, the sun is actually going to move out of Pisces and it's going to move into Aries, which is your 10th house. That has to do with your career situation. On March 5th, Mars moves into the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius for you is your 6th house. That has to do with your work, your daily life, and your health. So Mars is the planet of power. It's the planet of ambition. So you could be very, very ambitious in your job during this time. It also the 6th house Sagittarius also has to do with your health too. So with Mars being there, it's really going to amplify maybe like your desire to want to all of a sudden like get in shape, or like you're gonna like maybe go on a diet, or if you're not into dieting, maybe you're just gonna like aggressively exercise. Like you're gonna hit some pretty hard time at the gym. Whatever you do to get yourself in shape. With Mars being there, that's really gonna amplify this. In regard to Mars in your, like I said, the 6th house has to do with your work too. Mars does have some negative qualities too, so there could be like Mars is the planet of aggression as a negative quality. So there could be some heated moments in your in your daily life and in your work situation after Mars moves into Sagittarius on March 5th, but it's not going to be all bad. Like I said, with Mars being the planet of ambition, you're definitely going to be ambitious in your work life, in your daily life, and in things in regard to your health. On March 8th, there's a new moon solar eclipse in Pisces. So once again, Pisces is your ninth house. The ninth house has to do with travel to faraway places. It could have to do with people who are from far away, who you're associating with possibly locally, and then it also has to do with spirituality. And this isn't just any normal new moon. This is a new moon solar eclipse. Solar eclipses have to do with events that are associated with your fate. So I mean, this is something really special. So either you're like, basically it's a new moon. So new moons are like a trigger, and they just build all these things up for the 6 months that follow the new moon, and then 6 months down the line is the full moon. It's the corresponding full moon in the same area, which is the culmination, which is whatever is building and building and building and finally comes to fruition. So, it could have to do with traveling to somewhere far away. It could have to do with, and this is a life event that has to do with your fate. It could have to do with traveling somewhere far away. It could have to do with someone who's foreign but local in your life. It could have to do with spirituality. Maybe this is the first time you're watching an astrology video, and with spirituality, it doesn't always have to be something like organized religion. Like maybe possibly it is. Maybe all of a sudden you're getting really interested in organized religion, and for the next 6 months you're going to be really studying it and getting into it, and then 6 months later down the line there's the culmination, and whatever's going to come to fruition. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It could also be an alternative spiritual subject like astrology, for example. Maybe you're watching this video and you're like, wow, astrology is like really cool, and now for the next 6 months you're really going to be looking into astrology. And then all of a sudden, who knows, 6 months later, all of a sudden now you're like online, like talking about astrology or whatever. Something like that could happen. On March 14th, not to say that that's going to definitely happen, but everyone's situation is different. On March 14th, Mercury is in Pisces. So once again, there's a lot of activity here in this ninth house, the house that has to do with the faraway travel, and the house that has to do with the spirituality stuff. But making a challenging aspect to Saturn in Sagittarius. Saturn is your house of, once again, your house of work, daily life, and your house of health. So it looks like there's like a challenge, like maybe Mercury's a planet of communication. So either you're talking about, somewhere far away, or you're talking about spiritual stuff and you're talking about it, at work or like in your daily life, and it's not being received very well. And there's a challenge there. That's on March 14th. So make sure to pay attention to that on the 14th and following that event. On March 23rd, there is a full moon lunar eclipse in Libra. Here we go, another eclipse. This is the second eclipse in 1 month. This is a very, very special month. Once again, these eclipses have to do with life events that are a part of your fate. So with this lunar eclipse in Libra, Libra is your 4th house of home and family. So anything that has to do with your family, anything that has to do with your home, where you live, you can expect a significant change when this hits on March 23rd and following this event. Are you going to be moving, to a new home? Is there a family member, that's going to be like moving out? Or, is there not even just a family member? Maybe there's somebody living in your home that's going to be moving out. Is there going to be someone new moving in? Are you moving out of a home where someone else is staying that you lived with? These are definitely all possibilities regarding the full moon lunar eclipse that occurs on the 23rd of March, so look out for that. On the 29th of March, Mercury is in Aries. Once again, Aries is your 10th house of career, and it's making a very positive aspect to Saturn in Sagittarius. Once again, Sagittarius is your 6th house of work, daily life, and health. So what I see this as is, very, very positive communications in regard to your work. I mean, Mercury's in your house of career, and it's making a positive aspect to the 6th house of work. So, I mean, this is 29th of March. I mean, look out for this, Cancer. This is a great day for your career. I mean, this could be something really big here. On March 30th, it looks like you hit somewhat of a hiccup here because you have Mercury again in Aries in the house of your career, the 10th house of your career, making a challenging aspect to Pluto in Capricorn, which is your 7th house of relationships. So, maybe you're having some challenging conversations, with someone in your one-on-one relationships that you work with. Like, is it a boss? Is it a coworker? Is it a client? Like somebody who, in your life of your career, you might be having a challenge with, or, because like I said about that day before, that was like such a great day for your career. Maybe this next day now all of a sudden has to do with like this aspect can be looked at as like transformation too. So, it doesn't necessarily always have to be challenging. Maybe it'll be challenging for some. Maybe it'll be more transformational for other Cancers on this day, like in your communications, in your 7th house of one-on-one relationships. With somebody in your workplace, is there like a conversation going on about how your career is going to change? On March 30th, we actually end the month of March off on a really, really great note. Once again, Mercury, the planet of communication, in your 10th house of career, Aries, making a conjunction. That's when with the planet Uranus. That's when the planets actually align. So it's Mercury in the planet of communication, Mercury in your 10th house of career, making conjunction with Aries in the same area. So Aries also in your 10th house of career, and they're aligning. And Aries is the planet of spontaneity. It's the planet of serendipity. It's the planet of the unexpected. It's the planet of just random things happening. So, Mercury's the planet of communication. So all of a sudden, like you're randomly, talking about your career, or something comes up in conversation regarding your career, and it's a conjunction. So it's very, very positive, and, basically just stumble upon this by surprise, or it's very unexpected, but it's very, very positive. So great way to finish off March, Cancer. Thank you very much for joining me. I think that's all I have for you now. If you've liked this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. But I think that's it. That's all I have for you this month, Cancer. And once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next month. Take care. Bye-bye.